Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here in YOUCANIC we have a Cadillac 2011 STS, and we're going to go over how you would replace your washer sprayer that sprays washing fluid onto your headlights to keep them clean. So to start with, on the top there are two push pins here that you would remove. There's one Phillips screw right here. There's also push pins that go along this all the way across, but those are also part of the panels that cover most of the engine bay. So those panels have been removed, and all those push pins that went with it. These two push pins, this screw on this side as well as the other side, and everything we do on this side we would do on the other side for the most part. So down here inside the wheel well there is two push pins, one push pin right here. That way then we can pull this cover back. There's one number 10 bolt that's right up in here that we would loosen and remove. And up here, you'd reach your hand in or fill your way in. There is another bolt that you just need to loosen up a teeny bit to be it so the bumper will fall down, because it's a bolt with a flat top on it that slides in a channel, and I'll show you that to you better when you get off. Now, you'll want to undo the electric that goes to this light, so that when you pull it away, and so we're going to pull it away a little bit, and then we also want to disconnect the the water line there for spray that will come out to clean your headlights. So we've loosened this, and now we're able, if you pull on the top of the bumper and pull right here, we can pull this a little bit forward. We just want to come enough that we can get access down inside here. And you're going to see this connection right here, and we're going to squeeze it and pull it off, but we're going to want to put something to plug it there, otherwise all of our windshield washer fluid will leak out. It's easy to just disconnect it right here, because this runs from this side to both sides of the thing. So I'm going to disconnect, and just disconnect, and unless you can cap it off, just get yourself a container and a funnel and catch your windshield washer fluid so you can put it back in when you're done. Okay, so we've got the electric undone on that side. Let's go ahead and undo the electric on the other side and pull that side away, and then we should be able to remove the bumper. So the same thing, you're going to want to pull the top here and pull that away. You just want to kind of have it sit there, and if you reach in here, you can undo the electric that goes to here just by twist, and then do your best to just kind of have it sit here and not fall off. Okay, so we have the electric undone. Now be careful to pull and remove this away. The bumper has been removed from the car. You might not need to remove it completely, just need to have it, the top undone and pull a little bit forward. But the bumper at this moment has been removed fully from the car, and so to undo this connector you just need to squeeze the two sides. You'll see that they have the little indents as the other side doesn't squeeze. So you squeeze the two sides, and that way you can pull this connector off. And then we have two little connections right here that we need to press in while we push this forward. Okay, and we've got that pressed forward, and while that's forward we also have this cover here we need to remove by pressing the clips down on both sides, one on the top and one on the bottom, and that way we can remove this cover to then be able to remove this whole unit. And then when you get a new one, you take your new one, and we just go in the reverse order, where you're going to line it up, putting it in there, and then we've got this there's that little back tab on there that we line up in there. Now before we get that all completely in there, let's put this cover back on. So here's the cover. It can only go one direction, or to fully lock in, and we have a tab there that lines up with this tab here. And so you line that tab up, snap it into place. That way it lines up. And now we come back here on the back and we pull until the lock locks it into place there, and it's all secured. And then the last thing, we want to make sure that we press this connection back together so that when we want to spray our fluid, it actually goes through the sprayer and not just onto the ground. So that's how you would replace your headlight washer. So let's pick up the bumper and start to move it onto the vehicle and get that to hold up, and then we'll start attaching the other components. So this is where you're making sure you get the wiper fluid actuators in where they need to go. Slide this up there. Everything to basically sit and line up. I have some screwdrivers to just put in here to hold this up temporary on the front there, while we come around this side and are able to get this bolt here up in the channel, slide it forward, and then be able to put the screw in that holds it on. Alright, so here's where you want to make sure we get this to go up. There's a little open indent, and then we're going to slide it back. Okay, so we've got our number 10 bolt started, and we'll tighten it up. Okay, then we have the light here that goes for the side marker that we're going to want to install, and that's just by inserting and twisting a quarter turn to the right. And then we have this electrical connector is what holds for the turn light and a fog light. We're going to connect that up. And the last one on this side is we have the water line that we need to hook up back to the reservoir for our windshield washer fluid, and that you just push on until it clicks, and that's installed there. And then you'll be able to put your push pins in the fender well and install that all together. And there's a few to put in the bottom, a few push pins, maybe a few screws, if they're all intact. And then up top here, we've got 2 push pins and 1 screw that goes right here. The same installing of the bumper that we did on this side with the 2 push pins up top here and the screw, and then also the push pins in the fender well and hooking all that up. You'll do basically the same on the other side, and you finish that up. Now, the only thing on the other side is you don't have a water line to hook up. You just have the 2 electric lines, one for the light and one for the blinker unit itself. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.